For this video, you need to have your portfolio open to page 81 and something to write with. Now, this is the third and last video for this first section of this unit. And we're going to go over four more vocab words. So we're here in the Build Word Knowledge section, and you see there's four words right here. The first word we're going to go over is recycle. I want you to go ahead and bubble in 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on how familiar you are with the word recycle. Now, recycle here is a verb, which means it's an action. Right? I want you to write the word action next to the word verb here. Whenever you see a verb, it's something that you can do. So this is something that you do, and we see the meaning here is to put. Right? To put blank objects through a process so they can be made into something blank. All right, so that's something that you're doing, obviously. And here's the words here. So it's to put used objects through a process so that they can be made into something new. That's recycle. I want you to say the word recycle quietly to yourself. Recycle. Recycle. Let's come over here to the examples. This one says the specially marked bins at school encourage students to recycle cans and bottles. We have one in my room. It's actually up under the table where you get the pencils and the Chromebooks. It's a big bin covered in black trash bag, but it's actually marked. It's encouraging you to put your cans and bottles in there. So now this second example here, I want you to finish the sentence. This says recycling paper products can blank. So what would recycling paper products do either to the environment, to the places that we get paper from? What would that do? And after you finish writing it, make sure you read it out loud to yourself so you can check and make sure that it makes sense and it sounds correct. All right, coming on to word number 2, retailer. Repeat it. Retailer. Retailer. It's a noun, which means it's either a person, place, or thing. Go ahead and bubble in 1, 2, 3, or 4, letting me know how familiar you are with this word. Let's come over here to the meaning. The meaning is people or businesses who sell products to customers. Sell products to customers. So Walmart, Target, even the guy on the street corner who has a bunch of Nike shoes for you to buy, he in a way, he is a retailer. He's a person who's selling products to customers. All right? And so you deal with retailers almost every day, but you might not be aware of the word retailer as it relates to them. So let's come over here to this first sentence. It says, the most successful retailers in my community sell shoes and clothing. And that's true, right? Walmart or stores in the mall, they generally make a lot of money selling clothing or shoes. So the second sentence here says, the new mall is attractive to retailers because it is blank. So remember, a retailer is a business who sells products to customers. So why would a new mall be attractive to retailers, or why would businesses want to have their stores in this new mall? And think of a good reason, and then go ahead and finish this sentence here. Now, you may wonder why are they talking about retailers? I thought we were talking about plastic pollution. Well, retailers, or people who sell products, actually have a lot to do with either how much plastic pollution there is in the world, or with trying to prevent or stop plastic pollution. So let's go down to word number 3. Reuse. It's tough with the two vowels next to each other. It's not ruse, it's reuse. So say reuse. Reuse. Bubble in 1, 2, 3, or 4. Remember, 1 means I've never heard this word before. 4 means that you're very, very familiar with it. And the definition of reuse, which is a verb, remember, something you can do, is to use something more than once. All right? I'm going to reuse it or use it again. Remember, the prefix re means again. So you're going to use something again, to use something more than once. It's a fairly simple word. So this example here says, Jared likes to reuse his lunch containers, which helps reduce the amount of trash he throws away. Jared likes to reuse his lunch containers, which helps reduce the amount of trash he throws away. Rather than just bringing in a paper bag, which every day he throws away, he decides to use a reusable plastic one. So let's come down here to this second example. It says, one problem with reusing blank is that they blank. So you're going to come up with two different phrases or things to put in this sentence. So one problem with reusing blank. Now think of something that people reuse. It could be grocery bags like we've talked about. It could be water bottles. It could be lunch pails. But think about something that would generally we would throw away. And go ahead and put it in here. So one problem with reusing blank is that they blank. What happens to them when you reuse them? They start getting really dirty? Is it unsanitary? Or does it get infested with germs? Do they start to break easily? Or maybe they're hard to clean? So go ahead and think of what would be best here and finish that sentence. All right, the fourth and final word for today is tax. So it's a noun, which means it's a thing. Go ahead and bubble in 1, 2, or 3, or 4. I'm assuming most of you guys have heard of the word tax before. So maybe we'll see a lot of 3s and 4s. So here's the definition. It's money paid to the government for public services, such as education and roads. All the money that you pay in tax, whether that be for sales tax, when you go buy some food, you got to pay a little bit extra, goes to the government. All the money you make in your life, all the money that your teachers make, a percentage of that actually goes to the government to help pay for roads and school buildings and things that the public needs. That's what public services are. So let's come over to this first sentence. It says, the politician said the new tax would benefit our community by providing schools with more money. And that's always a good thing. New taxes give more money to schools so you guys can have Chromebooks and things like that. So this very, very last one here says residents fund the city's blank by paying taxes. Well, what in the city that's not schools, we just talked about that, but what in the city is a public service that is paid for by residents' taxes? It could be something like maybe after school programs, like Think Together, by the way, that is paid for by taxes. Could be something like hospitals, the library, mail, something like that. Pick one of those and put it into this sentence and make sure it makes sense, grammatical sense. Because just saying residents fund the city's mailing by paying taxes, that doesn't make sense. There's a better way to put it. So go ahead and fill out this last sentence. So now I want you to go over to Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, there's a new assignment, and we're going to have this assignment every week. All right, so this is Reading Log 1. In the back of the room, for those who are new, there's a library of books on top of the bookshelves. There's 4 copies of each book, and there's all different kinds of books. There's stories for girls, stories for boys. There's books that talk about information like electricity, or there's poems. So what you're going to do is, if you were in my class last semester, you can continue reading the same book if you'd like to. Or you can pick a new one. Now, if you're new to my class this semester, what you're going to do is, at this point, now that you're done with all 3 videos, you're going to go and you're going to pick a book. Wait to show me that you finished the portfolio page, page 81. Wait to show me until the end of class when I ask for it. That's something that I had to change. So once you're done, just keep your portfolio at your desk. walk up and go look at the book library. Notice on the backs of the books, and I'll explain this in class, but on the backs of the books, there's a reading level. The lower the number, the easier it's going to be to read. So if you want to challenge yourself, you can grab a higher number. When you grab your book, what you're going to do is when you finish the videos for the week, or whenever I say at the end of the video, now go grab your reading book, you're going to take some time reading in your reading log. And by the end of the week, this reading log is due. So you're going to need to click on this form here, and it'll take you to something that looks like this. Reading log number 1, putting your name, period. You need to put in the title of the book that you're reading, and what pages did you read for this reading log. Most reading logs will be for about a week's time. You'll type in pages 4 through 7, pages 25 through 30. Notice that you must read a minimum of 3 pages for this reading log. So for this particular, you have to read a minimum of 3 pages. Then after you put that in, you're going to summarize what happened or what was talked about in the pages you read. You must write in full and complete sentences and use the names of the characters or topics in your book. Don't just say, a girl joined the baseball team, people didn't like her, right? Actually tell me what. Maria joined a baseball team and most of her teammates didn't like her, especially Eduardo, right? Or if you're reading an informational book, say, oh, in this book, this reading this week, they talked about electricity and the difference between positive and negative electrons. Now, this is going to go into your reading comprehension grades. So one of these needs to be finished every week. Make sure that you actually do the reading, and it needs to be at least 3 pages. You may read more if you'd like, but it needs to be at minimum 3 pages. And finish this and then submit it. After you submit it, you can actually open it again by clicking on the same link. Oh, wait, I need to add something, or I read more and I want to add some more. You can click on this again, and it'll say, oh, you've already edited it, and just say, yeah, I'm going to, or it'll say you've already submitted it, and say, yes, I just want to edit it. You can go back and make changes on it, and that will be fine. So this is due January 20th, which is this Friday. So right now, keep your portfolio aside and go grab a book that you're interested in reading, and go ahead and start reading it silently.